Welcome back, YouTubers. This is Omar from Near Mint Condition. Today, I'm going to do an overview of the Mutant Massacre Omnibus that just hit and compare it to the original Mutant Massacre oversized hardcover, what the differences are, and whether you should upgrade or not. So please stay tuned. So excited to talk about this book. X-Men Mutant Massacre, probably my second favorite crossover of the X-Men books. So let's compare this really quick. This is the original oversized hardcover that came out probably back in 2000 and I want to say 2010, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little bit before then. Unlike the Wedding of Cyclops and Phoenix, this is an actual omnibus. So I'm glad to see that. Dimensions are the same, but look how much thicker it is. That's right, because this book has become almost obsolete, at least to me. Now you may think different and not want to upgrade, but this is what this contains. This contains just pretty much all the Mutant Massacre issues. And this book contains so much more, obviously. So, actually, let's look at the inside. There we go. Looks like Steve Epting's artwork right there, if I'm not mistaken. So the original hardcover collected Uncanny X-Men 210 to 214. And then XFactor 9 through 11. New Mutants 46. Thor 373 to 374. Power Pack 27, and then Daredevil 238. This book kicks you off with a previously page, so yes, awesome. It contains Uncanny X-Men 210 through 219, so it takes us all the way up until the Fall of the Mutants hardcover that they have. It also contains annual number 11. It contains X-Factors 9 through 17. X-Factors, not sure why I said that instead of X-Factor. Look at this gorgeous John Romita Jr. art. In annual number 2. So keep in mind, X-Factor 1 through 8 and annual number 1 have not been collected in oversized format or omnibus format. So I'm hoping they might include that in Uncanny X-Men Volume 4 or 5, depending on how they want to cut those and edit those. Also contains the New Mutants 46, which was previously collected in the other hardcover. Thor's 373 to 374, and 377 to 378. Interesting that they have those in here, because those are kind of an aftermath of an aftermath. Power Pack 27. I wish they would collect more of that. Daredevil 238 again. Fantastic Four versus the X-Men 1 through 4. I love that story. That is one that is written by Claremont and John Bognavona. Yeah, totally butchering that guy's name. Does the artwork on that, but I love that miniseries. It's great. He also did the artwork in the Power Pack issue. Where was I? And then X-Men versus the Avengers 1 through 4, written by Roger Stern. And, of course, he didn't get to finish his story because, notoriously, he wanted to make Magneto into a villain again. And editorial mandate was like, no, you can't do that. Magneto has to be a good guy. So, sorry, buddy. I think Tom DeFalco ended up finishing that story. And that's it. That is pretty much everything you get in here. So, I love the fact that they included a lot more X-Factor. I love the fact that this lines up perfectly with Fall of the Mutants, because it takes us all the way to 219. This is great. This is exactly what I wanted. I want Marvel to have been smart from the beginning and started mapping these stories out. Oh, God, what an awesome issue. Angel No More. Poor guy. Yeah, this is like one of my favorite. Actually, if you go back to our channel and watch, one of my favorite Marvel moments was the Mutant Massacre. It's a great crossover. And yeah, Angel gets his wings torn off. He tells Artie to go tell Jean that he loves her, but then he forgets that Artie can't talk. So he's like, ah, shit. That's right, Artie can't talk. So, whoops, told the wrong Morlock to go tell the girl that I'm in love with that I love her. Beautiful artwork by Barry Windsor Smith. This is Uncanny X-Men 214 when Malice takes over Dazzler's body. Mutant Massacre has a lot of awesome stuff that happens. I mean, 3 of the X-Men right off the bat get taken out. And some of them change, I don't want to say forever, but for a long time, like Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler. And the next time we see them there is that little mini-series in the Fantastic X-Men versus the Fantastic Four. But the next time we see them, it's not until Excalibur. This is the very first time we see Wolverine fight Sabretooth. Like, not including the flashback in Classic X-Men, because that really was kind of written after this, but this is their first meeting, issue 212. And that wonderfully drawn issue 213 by Alan Davis. God bless, I love these issues. This is, I believe, is the Daredevil issue, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I think it was because Ann Nocenti was the editor at the time, so she kind of wanted to be looped into this crossover to bump up sales of Daredevil, which, hey, completely cool. This is the issue I was talking about, the fight with Sabretooth, drawn by the wonderful Alan Davis, before he did, of course, Excalibur. And actually, the star of this one was my girl Psylocke here. And this is the issue with Barry Windsor Smith. Sorry, I keep flipping back and forth because issues remind me of other issues. Most of the stuff from XFactor is drawn by Walter Simonson and written by Louise Simonson, but some of it is drawn by Mark Silvestri, who later on took over the Uncanny X-Men title. This issue right here is also the very first mention of the 12, the mutants that will one day take us into the future and change the way that we live, which all kind of wrapped up in the Apocalypse the 12th, which, if you remember my X-Men overview of hardcovers and omnibuses, I said Apocalypse the 12th would be the next omnibus from that era. I'm still calling it. I think that's the next one for sure. The introduction of Apocalypse is... he appeared in issue 6, but it introduces us to his horsemen. These wonderful issues right here, where this is during the time that Storm had lost her power, and her and Forge are out here stuck surviving, like the Deer Hunter game from the movie, where they have to fight against these mutants. And I love Stonewall, Crimson Dynamo. Those were two of my favorite characters, and sadly nobody uses them anymore, well, because they're dead, along with the Speedster on their team. And when Dazzler ends up joining the team, Longshot, it's going to be interesting to see where they put annual number 10, where Longshot appears with the X-Men. I'm thinking that will be in the volume that precedes this one, which, like I said, it could be Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 4, or the Uncanny X-Men John Romita Jr., but they really have enough between this and Volume 3 to fill up at least 2 Omnis. And knowing Marvel, and knowing my dumbass and people like me, we'll buy them. By the way, there are also coming out next year with this new line of trade paperbacks called Marvel Milestones. They're starting with Fall of the Mutants, but Mutant Massacre is also going to be reprinted in that. Now, what's being reprinted? What issues? I don't know yet. I doubt that we'll see these. And here's a little more before I wrap up. Some stuff from the annuals. God, I love this time of X-Men. This was my childhood. So, of course, I had to upgrade. So, yeah, you have that option of buying the trade paperbacks. Now, is it worth the upgrade? For people like me? Absolutely. No brainer. I had this thing pre-ordered. So, yes, I couldn't wait for this. Is it worth the upgrade for other people that are not X-Men completists? I would say not, because you get the complete story in this original hardcover. So if you own this or the trade paperback, this is it. This is Mutant Massacre. If you want to know the aftermath or what happens to some of these characters, or you're at all interested to see where the stories go from there, then yes, this might be worth the upgrade. Or if you don't own the hardcover already, or don't want to wait for the trade paperback next year. Mark Silvestri, I forgot he drew the X-Men vs. Avengers. Well, at least the stuff with Ryder Stern. I think Al Milgram, somebody else finished. Keith Pollard did the Tom DeFalco stuff. I was right. It was Tom DeFalco. Now, really quick, let's look through here. There's annual number 11, drawn by Alan Davis. And the first time that Wolverine gets to use his weird mutant power to come back from a single cell, which is later explained because it's the power of the jewel, not some crappy Civil War storyline, if you all remember that, by Humberto Ramos. Anyway, it wasn't Humberto Ramos' fault, it was Mark Guggenheim. I'm just blabbering. Here we go. Here's some extras. That's my boy, my man right there, Chris Claremont. Marvel Age stuff. Cover, yeah. I'm surprised they went with the Steve Epting cover, because this is the original trade paperback. Because I really don't remember. That's where they got it from. They got it from a freaking Sabretooth Classics, really? That's what they went for? Yeah, well, whatever. I guess I'm not really keen on this peach, though. That's the same kind of color they used for the Wedding of Cyclops and Phoenix, the inside of the book. Love that cover. And trade paperback here, and some more artwork from the trade paperbacks. And that's it. Goodbye, hardcover. And in you go. So this is where it belongs, right between Uncanny X-Men Volume 3 by Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum and Paul Smith, and X-Men Fall of the Mutants, which is not an omnibus, but I'm sure when they reprint it, it will be. And that was it. That is pretty much the differences and what is contained in this omnibus. I hope I was able to talk you into either purchasing it or upgrading your original oversized hardcover, or passing up on it, or waiting for the trade paperbacks that are coming out early next year. If this is your first time watching the channel and you enjoyed what you watched, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button. And don't forget to check out our weekly show that comes out every Thursday, where we talk about anime, movies, video games, comic books, and toys. Again, this was Omar. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.